Forward ReZero, everyone. It's a ReZero rewatch podcast. No, I got nothing. I know I did this exact same spiel at the start of the last two episodes, and I apologize for that. We recorded 2 weeks apart. It's so far away.
We're forwarding this podcast twice, which is why we have to repeat.
Yeah, it's a ReZero rewatch podcast that we're forwarding to Morg.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not in it? Okay, great.
Well, we're forwarding the show to you.
Yeah.
Neve and I have seen it, so it's re, and then the forward is you. You're new.
The re is a reply to all, and that's what I do.
But then it would be re forward zero, and that's not what our podcast is called.
Well, you got me there. Yeah, you got me there.
I will be honest, I have not sent an email in 50 years, so.
Oh, I have to send them a bunch at work. I don't know.
I don't have an email type of job, which is...
God, I'm glad I don't have an emails type of job anymore. I hated that shit.
I mean, I kind of wish I did.
I was more fiscally stable, to be sure, but also, like, emails.
Yeah, I mean, I would like an email type of job, because then I get to sit down at work.
That's true.
I don't.
What kind of emails are you sending standing up, Morg?
Emails job and standing up? What a nightmare.
Well, when I do emails, inhumane. I sit down. But it's a lot more standing. Anyway, we're not here to talk about my job. We're here to talk about ReZero.
We're here to talk about football.
We're here to talk about football. Bucks versus Rams happening right now. By the time this episode's out, I believe this episode will be coming out on the day of the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, if all goes well.
Cannot wait for Bills Rams. I cannot wait for the Bills-Rams game that will be happening later tonight when you're hearing this.
All right. Fuck. Who's even still active in the NFC?
Niners. It's literally Niners.
Okay,
Niners
just to be
and Bucks Rams right now.
Just to be contrarian, I'm gonna say we're gonna be watching Bengals Niners.
There's no fucking way that the Bengals win, or not the Bengals. Sorry, there's no fucking way that the Niners win. Did you watch that game versus Green Bay? I'm sorry to get deep on jock talk. The game versus Green Bay was a travesty on both sides. Nobody was playing except for the fucking defense, except for the fucking Niners defense. Everyone else was just posting cringe.
I'm just vibing.
Just to be clear, we're talking about sports here, so we can filter out a certain subset of anime fan.
Yeah. I'm sure I will be completely calm for the rest of the recording and not at all tracking the Bills Chiefs score.
Yeah.
After the Bucks Rams game ends.
Well, I don't want the Chiefs to win.
I don't have a horse in that race, so.
I don't either. I just don't. I just wanted to say I wanted to be cool.
We don't want the Chiefs to win.
I don't care like strongly either way.
The fucking mascot.
That's true. Do they have a mascot, or they just quietly shuffled him away when the Washington football team was forced to change their name?
Oh, I don't know. You would know this better than me.
Yeah, I mean, because I know the Chiefs do the very racist maneuver, but I do not know if they have a. Hold on, I need to look this up real quick.
Great, cool.
Listen, we only spent like an hour and a half talking last time. It's, you know what? Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs mascot is just a silly looking wolf, which I kind of love.
I do like a wolf.
That's pretty good.
Here,
but they should change their name to the Wolves or something, then.
There are no wolves in the NFL, right? That I'm thinking.
I don't believe so. No.
I know there's the Timberwolves in the NBA,
basketball.
but,
yeah,
but there's no. Feels like a real missed opportunity. There's no wolf teams.
I mean, they should just be the Wolves, because if they already have a wolf mascot anyway, it's like not a big change.
Here, I got this guy. Here, take a.
Not that mascots like follow teams all the like.
Right.
What the fuck is
This guy's my friend.
I like this guy.
He looks a little silly.
I love his pants.
Oh,
right.
I like his pants. Yeah.
How would you react?
That's like a very transmask button down pattern on those pants.
It super is. Yeah.
It is. Fuck. Called out.
Shouts out Casey Wolf. I think that's this guy's name.
That's a very furry name to me.
Yeah, Casey Wolf, of course. Yeah, of course.
I mean, not just like Casey for some reason, just by itself. I'm like, yeah. Oh, there's a furry out there named Casey for sure.
Oh, at least one, definitely.
Did we watch something today?
We watched some. Yeah, today we watched two hours and 45 minutes of Rams versus Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and
I don't remember Ram doing a lot of fighting in this episode.
We watched Ram, but not Rams.
There was pretending that I'm colorblind for this joke. There were 2 Rams in this episode. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm seeing double 4 Rams.
I think you would see Rem as purple then.
You know what? I think you're right.
Honestly, that'd be pretty good.
What was I going to, oh yeah, right, I was going to talk about this fucking episode of anime that we watched. Today we watched episode 5 of the director's cut. I cried my lungs out and stopped crying, / the meaning of courage.
I stopped
Morg, what'd you think of them?
I stopped crying. I mean, I already said last time that I liked it, so I guess it's just like, yeah, I liked it, but it's like also like...
It's strenuous now.
Yeah, there's a lot happening, and I'm like, oh no, and the cliffhanger hurts.
Yeah, the cliffhanger in this is ridiculous.
Because you don't know if he goes back, even if it's like, oh, he doesn't die, he still dies, you know?
Yeah.
Like he still has to reset, and that sucks in a different way.
He has to fill out all that paperwork again.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to go back to the main menu. He's got to fill out his character sheet again.
Yeah. He keeps making the same character. He probably should, like, mix it up a little bit, you know? Yeah.
Actually, at the top of the episode, I wanted to correct myself. I want to correct a couple of things that were brought up in the Discord server. Join the Discord. It's in our. We linked it on our Twitter. I think it's in our bio on the Twitter also. I wanted to issue 2 things. One was a correction. The other was a fun fact, which I think on episode 3 we talked a little bit about how the people mentioned that Subaru has scary eyes, and I didn't understand why they did that. And this is a post from PR in our Discord server who says, "Oh, curiosity time. People calling Subaru's eyes scary certainly comes from the Japanese idea of sanpaku eyes, which is literally eyes with 3 white parts, where they are considered to be a sign of a fierce personality. One was once used as a light phrenology as a sign of latent criminality, and I could probably rattle off like 10 animes where one of the main characters defining characteristics are sanpaku eyes. So this just means that like your eyes are not." You got white on the bottom or the top of your eyeball, like on the top of your eyeball, like it's visible when your eyes are open. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I can visualize that.
Yeah. And then from Philip correcting my my Japanese 101 knowledge, quote from Philip Wughead. For clarification, Tan is way less common and more baby talk than Chan.
Yes.
And it's
Which I believe I knew, but it's good to have that clarification on the board anyhow.
Very much so.
Yeah, thank you, Philip. Go Dwarfs.
Go Dwarfs.
I can't endorse this.
Morg says, I don't trust this information. It's coming from someone.
I can trust the information. I can't say go Dwarfs because I'm fighting them right now. So, I can't believe 2/3 of this podcast are against me right now.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
So the episode starts after Subaru having just done that on concrete, diving into the cliff, or diving off the cliff at the end of the last episode.
And he woke up.
He did a swan dive into his own grave.
Yeah. He swan dove into the estuary. He wakes up and sees the twins. And I think this is like a fun little parallel from the last time he woke up. I think it was the last time he woke up, at least at the start of after he looped again, which was that he. Like the last time he woke up, the last time he woke up after the loop, he saw the twins and was like traumatized about it, and was like terrified and ran out of the room screaming. And this time he sees them and he's like, "You're okay." Well, he's not like openly sobbing. He's just a bit like He's just very happy about it.
He's emotional, and he's like, wow, I realized what happened, kind of. And also, like, he, like, grabs their hands to, like, confirm that they were the two holding his hands while he was, like, dying from weakness in his sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, it is them.
Rams won, by the way. Just... counting out touchdown time was the right move. Sorry, we're done. Right. We're done talking about football.
Okay, see? Like, you can't count him out until the very end.
I counted him out. I counted him out.
Yeah, he's out.
I never thought he would rally. And I definitely did not have a spirited rant about not wanting to see him in the fucking Super Bowl again. Oh, my prayer is answered. Thank you. Okay. He grabs his hand. He grabs the twins' hands and is like, "Oh, you were the ones holding my hands that night." And they walk away. They do that funny anime thing where like they just move away very quickly and just like kind of shake like their legs are moving really fast. And he's like, "No." They're like, "No, you made a mistake. Don't touch us. Don't touch us." And Zuber says, "Oh, let's be friends."
And then they insult him, and he's like, wow, you guys are funny. And then he's like, wow, you're a pervert being turned on by insults. Disgusting.
Yeah, Ram says, I honestly think your very birth was a mistake. Get his ass. She also calls him a big pervert.
Yeah, they call him a pervert because he likes being insulted. He's a wiggly little weirdo is what my notes say. And he is.
I have a question. Did any of you, Morgan, I think you might know this about me personally, given when we met each other, and I was still a very, no, this would have been before we met. Did either of you, like, really lean into being insulted when you were young in order to, like, make it hurt less because you were really bullied? And
no.
Just me? Okay.
Yeah, like I understand.
Like this very much involved in the self-deprecating humor that I found myself like stuck in from ages like 18 to 23 or so. But I say evolve like I say 18 to 23 like I wasn't doing this like in middle school also, but like it was I don't know, just a defense mechanism to pretend to enjoy the insults.
Yeah.
It kind of did, but it was more like, I wasn't like insulted. It's just more like I was afraid I was going to be insulted. So if I did it first, then it would be fine. And it would be funny. I don't know. Yeah. It's funnier when I do it. And it's not. Like,
yeah. Childhood. We love it. We love being in school.
We love trauma.
So we cut to the...
Speaking of trauma,
Subaru. Speaking of trauma, Subaru, he requests to work at the mansion again instead of requesting to be a freeloader like he did the last two loops.
He wants to have the twins' trust.
Yeah, he goes over the conditions
Subaru's
to survive.
Saying I would rather like earn $100 every day than get $1 million all at once. he's on his grind set this episode.
Subaru turning down the $1 million to have lunch with Dre and be told you should have taken the $1 million. Oh, Subaru on his standing on the balcony of Roswell Manor saying he had to grind for a view like this.
Instead of saying victory, he's talking about grind set.
He's posting success pictures.
Success pictures, Subaru.
Fuck. I could see him doing that. He makes those poses. He makes the like fucking success baby pose.
The fucking pose that he does, like the pointing in the air, that is like textbook success pictures pose.
Yeah.
It really is.
God, I wish I could think of a single success pictures off the dome so I could riff more on this, but I'm tapped out.
I can only think of the baby. The little kid.
The giant baby?
No, not that one.
Excuse me?
We're not talking about giant baby.
Did the giant baby grow up to be success pictures?
Maybe.
No.
I mean, he's already on that grind set in that fucking gif, right?
Yes.
Super read the Zen Pencils comic about divorcing your wife to do Game of Thrones, and then he just got isekai'd. Subaru teaming up with Hayao Miyazaki to fight a giant kaiju labeled the Trolls. Subaru's last name is not actually Natsuki. It's racist, and Subaru roughly translates to "stop being."
Stop being right. No. Oh, God.
Cry. Sorry.
The fuck
God, I forgot about Zen pencils.
Yeah, me too.
Subaru goes over the conditions to surviving everything, which is that he needs to, in order to survive to the 5th day, he needs to A, make friends with the twins, and B, defeat the shaman that curses him or someone in the house. Because as we saw last arc, it's not just, it's guaranteed to, it befalls someone because, Ram died last time.
Yeah.
And
gotta destroy the magic user that cursed my dick.
He's roaming the halls to find the cruel wizard to unslap his balls.
the little dog posing menacingly and saying, "No, Subaru, I will never unslap your balls."
All right, jumping ahead a little bit. What if, the scene where Betty's examining for the curse, and you just see the smoke fog comes out of his dick.
Balls.
It seems your balls have been slapped, I suppose.
So,
oh my God.
Christ. Fucking, Subaru, Amelia, and Puck are out in the courtyard, as they always are on the first day.
It's like a cute little routine at this point, kinda.
Yeah, he's running through Firelink Shrine, going down that long corridor with the rat, running past the dragon that flies down, killing those couple of undeads who don't have a shield or anything, just a shitty weapon. Run to that undead Berg bonfire.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Dark Souls 3, so I'm sorry. I'm mixed up and
At least you got that it was Dark Souls. It took me a sec. I was like, bonfires, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, in a couple episodes.
The thing is that Firelink Shrine is a place in multiple games.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I was like, what?
I was trying to think of a joke to do where he goes outside the manor and there's just one door on the manor that's guarded by a naked guy with a katana.
He tries to go outside the manor, but there's still a fog gate while it all loads in.
Yeah.
They really did not have to make the entire fucking starting area completely visible from the exterior of the hub in Dark Souls 3, but they did. And they added fog gates about it.
Just for fun.
I just think that's interesting.
Well, it's fitting because this is where Puck explains game mechanics to Subaru.
Yeah.
Speaking of gates, he explains that there are two types of magic people. There are magic users who use their own mana, and spirit arts users who utilize free mana in the world. This jumps back to the thing that we mentioned in episode 2. Where Amelia was talking how Reinhard couldn't go all out against Elsa because she was using some of the mana in the air to.
Yeah. That land had already been tapped.
So they're both. Are they both spirit? I mean, I know Amelia is a spirit.
Reinhard is. I know, he's got a bunch of divine protections. Reinhard's is weird, and I also don't know too much about it because he's not really in the show all that much. And he's not really. I mean, I know he's gone. I know he's shown up a lot more in the novels, but I haven't read those, so I can't.
Like a paladin kind
we don't read on this show.
Yeah, I've never, I've never read a book, and I do not have a date with my girlfriend tomorrow to read the end of Chapter 5 of Higurashi.
That's not a book, though.
It's still reading.
It's a book.
You do have pictures and people reading out the dialogue to you.
I mean, they're reading out the dialogue, but they're reading it in Japanese which I can't understand. I just like to hear the voice acting.
You just go by vibes. I listen with my heart.
That's how I watch all my anime.
I go by A vibes and hearing the word Usatsuki, I think.
I go by hearing whenever Mion says honky.
Yeah, you just
fuck. Honky tonky bronky donk.
Yeah, Higurashi's a game about reverse racism.
So yeah, there's the But either way, if you're whether you're a magic user or a spirit arts user, you have a gate, which is how you take in and draw out mana. And Subaru should have one. And Puck says there are 4 attributes: fire, water, earth, and wind.
He's
and
lying.
Subaru's like, oh, which one of these am I? Am I a hot-headed magma guy? Am I a cool water type, like the wind dashing across the plains? Or am I the solid earth? And turns out he's Shadow, actually, which was not even an option presented. So he was sorted into Hurtwood House.
Sure was.
I would much rather be in Hurtwood House.
They explain that you can do things like pocket sand and deafen and other things like that. And Subaru's like, oh fuck, this is just debuffs, isn't it?
Shadow's all debuffs. No.
Yeah, and then we get the bad luck Baru, which we used for our Twitter post.
Yep.
He's very narrow.
He gets very small.
He's skinny. Subaru is skinny. Fuck blue eyes.
Why is Subaru skinny?
I guess Shadow and Light are rare, and
yeah. Puck is like, oh, here's one you can do: Shamok, the blinding spell. And he uses it on Subaru, and Subaru can't see a fucking thing, and he starts to have a massive panic attack about it.
Yeah.
He put him in the sensory deprivation chamber.
Yeah.
He can, like, see, in like, it's kind of like he just sees, like, does he see the witch?
This is sort of, like, reminiscent of, like, the witch space, but, like,
Yeah.
I also think this is supposed to, like, be, a little bit like, I think this is also like, you know, like in like when it's like really like well lit in a nighttime scene in a movie or something. Like, right. I think this is just here so that we're not looking at a black screen while this happens.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like
they're not gonna pull a long night on us.
I wasn't sure if it was like all in his head or not, kind of thing.
That's at least the vibe that I got from it.
Because I thought like at first it was because like if someone was using magic on him, he was reminded of the witch, and I was like, huh. So I was a little confused by that, but he does like snap out of it, and then Puck's like, that was cool, right?
And Subaru like puts on a brave face for Amelia and is like, oh, that was cool. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not on the verge of a panic attack.
I'm fine. Yeah. It's just
he's normal. He's feeling regular about it.
The magic is all fucky for him, and Puck tries to like help him kind of open his little magic gate in his body. And
he assists his casting basically. He's like, yeah, let's see if we can get your gate working, because if you can do magic, that would be pretty cool. What's that?
Let's do some gate kegels.
Gate kegels.
That's like the opposite. He wants it wide open.
Do some gate dilation. Oh, sorry, I can't hang out, guys. I got my surgery done last week, and I got to dilate my gate for an hour or so.
Before he does that, Amelia like skitters away from him because she's like, I don't know what'll happen. We're just being cautious.
Yeah, specifically,
and she's standing
Puck
500 feet away.
Puck has her go away and is like, well, now if something goes wrong, and Subaru explodes, you will not get any chunks of him on your nice dress.
Disgusting. Good thing he can fucking come back to life.
I don't know if this is a good thing or not. I'm just noting it. I think the way that the show like uses death as a source of comedy while also being extremely traumatic for Subaru is interesting. I don't know. I think this might be also him putting on a brave face, but just the aspect of him of Puck being like, okay, this might kill you, and Subaru being like, what? No, don't. That sounds fun. That sounds creepy. That sounds scary. But it's very much played for laughs.
Yeah.
I mean, Puck is also like, you'll probably be fine, lol.
Yeah.
Smoke and stuff comes out of Subaru when he tries to do magic through the gate.
Fucking mushroom cloud of smoke blasts out of him. He does a Wario down B.
But like,
Subaru, what'd you eat for lunch?
It shows like a cool little like image of like the gate opening and like darkness seeming to just burst
it's like
out.
there's like a lattice of like dark energy surrounding this little white pearl which is Subaru's gate supposedly. I mean, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Puck makes the magic come out, and it makes there's a mushroom cloud, and
He's fucked. No, he's
Yeah.
fine. He's just
he explodes. He dies.
he's just full of, or he's the opposite of full of mana. He is empty of mana. He's
Yeah.
just kind of laying on like a bench or something. He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I can't fucking move.
Yeah, and Puck explains that because Subaru does not have good control over his gait and it hasn't been used very often, mana will just burst out, which is like how if you don't have good sphincter control, you're incontinent.
True.
My dude just has IBS. It's fine.
Yeah. He's a tummy trouble
IBS
kid.
stands for IB Subaru.
I'd be super.
Amelia gives him a vitamin gummy.
Yeah, she gives him a senzu bean.
Yeah.
Gives him a little vitamin D gummy.
Gives him a little sensu raisin.
It's called
Yeah.
a boko fruit.
It's something.
I don't know.
It has a goofy fantasy name. We don't need to.
Yeah.
But he's fine now. He can go back to work because that's what he wanted to do. Instead of like resting, he's like, "No, I have to keep working."
Subaru says, "Please, we can't afford another lockdown. We want to work."
When Amelia feeds it to him, she does a cute little making a child take their medicine and swallow
He hates
gesture
it. And he hates it. He hates how it tastes.
Yeah, but he's got the juice, and Amelia, she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but Amelia's like, "Quit apologizing. It's nicer to hear one thank you than a bunch of sorries. I helped
Yeah,
because
she
I wanted to
literally
help
hits
you."
him with the turn your sorries into thank yous.
Yeah,
Literally, this is like advice people give to me because I say sorry too much. I'm like, shut up! I can't stop.
she says, "I helped because I wanted to help you, not because I wanted an apology," which is it's cute
Yeah.
to me. Like I am also a person who gets told to stop. Well, I used to be a person who got told to stop apologizing a lot because I stopped apologizing so much.
Yeah.
I still
You
apologize
stopped
quite a
having
lot.
regrets.
Yeah, I stopped having regrets, and I just when I like stub someone's toe, I'm like, you deserved that.
Yeah. That was your fault.
Yeah. L plus ratio plus your fault plus I'm not sorry plus bye.
Are you fucking sorry?
I'm sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry your toesies hurt.
Like it's my fault.
We cut to later that night where Roswell is palming Ram's head like a basketball and debriefing on Subaru.
Yeah.
Why does he treat
and-
them like pets? Like, very strange.
Well, he only treats one of them like pets. Well,
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
pet,
you're right.
I guess I should say.
And Ram just says, in terms of abilities, he's completely incompetent, but he can be excessively quick-witted when it counts. And Roswell's
In
like,
terms of abilities, he's completely incontinent.
it's just like, yeah, he is. And Roswell says, keep an eye on this little bitch boy, and make sure your sister doesn't act too rashly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she overhears. Rem overhears, like, this conversation. And it's like,
Does she?
yeah.
I thought that was just like visually representing like her in the scene.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because
because
like I think it was
I'm-
a shot of her like watching Subaru as he's doing stuff.
Yeah, watching
Oh, I'm
Subaru like
fucking
scrub the bath.
Okay.
No, it's fine. The scenes are played close together. The only indicator is like the lighting, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very much not Roswell's room at night that when in that thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
So day 2,
Is this when he goes to Beatrice for like?
yes,
And he calls.
and he asks.
Is this when he starts calling her Oh no, this is not yet. But
Yeah, he goes to ask her about shamans, and she says there's no way to undo a curse once it's been activated. But before they're activated, they are just simple spells. And Beatrice
They're
also
face
says
down.
Beatrice also says he smells like witch, and he asks her about who the witch is. Beatrice says it's just one person. Only one person is referred to as the witch in this world. It's
Yeah,
Satella,
she was
the
the-
witch of envy.
She was the largest witch, and so she ate the others.
She
Literally.
did devour the other witches of the other six deadly sins, and quote drained half the world dry.
she literally ate the other witches. Disgusting.
She ate the other witches and then sucked half the world dry. Throat goat Satella.
Jesus Christ.
The Lugnican Nancy Reagan.
No. And then Subaru's is speculating on why Amelia had like said she was Satella in one of the fucking.
Yeah, and he asked why anyone would steal her name like she does, and Beatrice has no answer, and Subaru's like, oh, she didn't want to be involved in the royal selection that time. Which, jumping back to the analogy that I made in chapter 1, or in episode 1 about the Marjorie Taylor Greene analogy that I made, no, she just wanted you to fuck off, buddy.
She wanted to be a crazy, like she was like, I'm crazy, leave me alone.
She's random. She's quirky.
I'm gonna blow away the Democrats in 2022 with my big gun.
Yep, that is what Amelia said.
Yeah, she said that. He just thinks Amelia doesn't want to be involved in the royal selection, and he does his little victory pose, and she fucking like bless him.
We do get the information that Satella was a half-elf with silver hair.
Yeah, much like Amelia, which is just what Amelia looks like.
Yeah, it's probably coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show is really lazy character design.
Okay.
Yeah. The next day.
Yeah, so lazy.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the next day. It's later this morning where Subaru is hanging out with Amelia and Puck in the courtyard again, and Subaru's just like being all kinds of energetic and extra and very annoying.
He's continuing to be on his grind set.
He's on that grind set.
Too much energy.
Like, literally, you can practically see the emojis and, like, the things he's saying.
Yeah, he's like crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji.
Oh my God.
Fire, okay, emoji. But he's just like, oh, hey, Amelia, it's me. I'm super. I'm gonna work really, really hard. I'm gonna brush my head in your lap. I'm not upset at all. I'm having a great time. Nothing bad's happened to me. I'm having a great time. And Puck's like, oh, I'm so fucking neepy. And Subaru is again launching into like his overdrive. Ooh, tell me who you like. We're doing a little sleepover. Who I like? Oh, it's so embarrassing. But the person I like is. And then Amelia cuts him off, and she's like got Puck like sitting on her head, and she's holding his little paws. And she just says, I like Puck, and Puck, the one that I like is Puck, and the one that Puck likes is me.
And then Subaru's like, how do I fit into this? And Puck's like, you don't.
Yeah, they have a little tussle about who Amelia likes, and Amelia says, shut the fuck up. And for the first time this episode, Subaru looks at the watch that he doesn't have and says, whoa, I gotta move.
Yeah. In the W says it weird. He just goes like, bye.
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 I will say that this is a particularly good episode for the dub. Like, I feel like a lot of the characters really started to click into place. Like, I didn't hate Puck that much on this episode, which was
good.
Not a lot of Puck in this episode.
It's true, but like he also sounds like much more natural. I think at this point.
That's good.
Yeah.
I do really just like the thing of Subaru looking at a watch that he doesn't have.
Yeah.
It's a funny little thing. He does it a couple of times this episode. It's really funny.
Amelia, like, after Subaru leaves, she's like, I'm kind of uneasy and I can't put my finger on why. And, Puck says, like, Subaru's mind is all mixed up inside and outside. And I was like, is
inside and outside are confused.
I was like, oh, he's trans.
True.
We
already discussed this. He is.
I know. I was like, oh, no, that's not what he's talking about, though. But yes. It is true, but it's not what Puck's talking about. But I was like, oh, it messed up. Okay.
Yeah, he's knocking over vases. He's just motoring around.
Yeah. He knocks over a vase and is like, oh, I'll clean it. Don't mind. I'll clean this.
He literally says, forget about it in the dub.
He does.
Like, he doesn't say it properly, but he does say, like, forget about it, like, as a one word.
Okay, so
he doesn't go like, hey, forget about it. I'm
in the sub he does say don't mind. So I'm just imagining the Haikyuu dub where like fucking Yamaguchi launches a spike into the net and Hinata is like, forget about it, Yamaguchi.
That would rule. I would love that.
Forget about it. Hey, it's
I'm
volleyball.
A little giant over here.
Hey, I'm spiking over here.
Hey, I'll show you the best view from the top. Best view in the city.
Hey, I got that katsudon in the fridge, you know?
Capiche.
And I wanted out of to say capiche. The fucking Simpsons
let's go to
episode
a
where
guy's store,
get
get some gabagool.
the fucking Simpsons episode where Bart shoplifts and the back of the car seat morphs into the security guard and just says catfish. That's what Hinata would say.
Yes.
Very specific reference joke from Matt GameCube and probably no one else that's listening. I don't think Matt even listens.
We better make him listen. Imagine not listening to a show that's on your network. That's very, very sloppy. We could be saying the most racist shit on here, and like Matt would never know. Matt, you were endorsing all the horrible stuff I'm saying about Italians.
I feel like he would, though. Like, even if he was listening, he'd be like, yeah.
Matt GameCube, noted Italophobe.
If anyone brought this up to Matt would just post that it's always okay to be racist to Italians.
Yeah.
Image. So yeah, Subaru like starts sweeping everything up. It's like, oh, I'll replace the vase, and Rem is very suspicious. Like, how do you know where the vase are? Where we keep the vases? Did my sister? And Subaru's like, yeah, your sister told me. I figured.
Subaru says, hey, don't worry about it. You know,
your sister said that she figured that I would fucking break something, and that you know, I'm just a clumsy little guy. You know, I'm really just a funny little guy. I'm gonna go get the vase now. Bye.
And it keeps.
And he looks at his wrist again, like he's wearing a watch. He's like, oh, I gotta go now. Bye.
And it keeps.
He's
like,
having a
cutting
great
to
time.
It keeps cutting to him like doing chores and stuff, and he's just like. But we keep hearing this like repeated like, "I feel sick."
Right.
Yeah.
He's doing the Groundhog Day piano trick, but it's like, oh, Ram, look at how good I'm doing peeling this potato. Ram, look at my stitch job. I put puck on your coat. I put puck on your little coat. Don't you think it's great? But inside he's just like, I feel sick. I feel sick.
Yeah.
I feel sick.
Yeah, Sean's killing it in this episode, I gotta say.
As this is happening, we get a great close-up shot where you can see both of her eyes through her bangs, like glaring daggers into Subaru, and I just a good shot. I think it's cool.
One perfect shot.
Yeah. Subaru's like, I can't fail this time. I should be better at doing this. I've done this 5 times already, and he can't fucking take it anymore, and he pukes in the sink.
Yeah.
He walks out, and Amelia's like waiting for him, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Amelia-san, ha ha ha! I'm just doing my silly little laugh, ha ha ha!"
It's just like, bro, stop it! You're scaring the hose.
Yeah, he's very clearly doing a lot of like high energy, quote unquote, comedy as a form of hiding emotions. And she leads him into a room and kneels down and lets him lay his head on her lap. And I am two minds about this scene, because I think it's a very cute scene and I like it a lot because I'm a big Emi Suba enjoyer. I also don't feel like it makes sense for her to do this. Really? I don't know.
Like,
Maybe
I can buy it as like her like sensing that like he's in like a lot of anguish. And
Sure. I just think that like, I don't know, the weird like hitting on her. The weird hitting on her that he does about it earlier this loop is just a little bit like... It's just a little bit strange to me. It's just kind of been rumbling around in my head. I don't know, Morgan, I'd like your take on this as someone who like does not have the rest of the series under their belt.
So it kind of felt like, to me, I don't know though, it felt like an excuse to have him like just like be with her, because she wants to kind of know what's going on, obviously. Like, she even says like, I can't, like, I assume you're not going to tell me what's going on in your head and stuff, but maybe if I do this, like, it felt like it felt like a kind of like having like a shoulder to cry on kind of thing, but obviously it's more like fucking weird since it's her lap.
Yeah, I mean, she does establish like some boundaries at that, like, face this way, keep your eyes closed.
Do not look up at my gagongers.
Yeah, like, don't look up at me, like, keep your head that way. I'm just letting you lay here. It's not weird. You know, I feel like maybe
it seems like what you need right now is some like intimate human contact.
To me, it would come off as less weird if she was wearing like pants, but she doesn't wear pants. Like, she just wears like...
She wears a skirt.
It's too bad this is already the director's cut, because I was going to say, like, in ReZero Brotherhood, she's going to be wearing, like, overalls.
Oh, that'd be cute though. But yeah,
she would rock a pair of overalls.
She would look good in a pair of overalls. Listen. Put any anime girl in overalls and a sun hat. I'm there. Like,
but yeah,
I can imagine that being like the next like anime fan art and Twitter trend. Just be like, oh, draw your pair in overalls, but it's like overalls with the tit window in it or something.
Got the fucking Power Girl overalls.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like. It would be less weird if, like... I mean, he would still be fucking embarrassed, probably, but, like, he's gonna do it. And, like, she knows he's gonna, like, stick around if she's offering this. So,
I
she,
think
wants him to stick around and, like, talk to her, kind of. And he fucking does. And he fucking cries about it.
They're like both in this moment and for a later moment in this season. I think that I love conceptually what is happening here. I love Amelia like taking Subaru aside and like being like, I can tell that you are hurting right now. You are not very good at hiding your emotions. I'm going to be here for you. You do not have to be a tough guy. You can just be yourself and let it all out. And I love that conceptually. I just think that the head on the lap is just, they play this card too soon here for me. Like, as someone who likes this ship a lot, like they pull the card too quick for me.
I think that's fair. I think it just works as part of the broader scene, so it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, I think that's how I clocked it too. And also, like, I guess, I mean, not that you fucking lay in your bro's lap, but I didn't really, like, necessarily even see it as, like, a shipping thing. Like, obviously, he likes her, but, like...
No.
Like, he needs an opportunity to be vulnerable.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, like I said, very of two minds about it. I guess.
Yeah, I think
I love the moment of allowing him to be vulnerable. I just think specifically the head on the... Well, okay, I'm of two minds about it now in a different way. But the different way is spoilers for later in the show, so we'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay, well,
putting a pin in this for episode,
but like, at least like for the two, like, I would almost like prefer it like if it was like if she could get him to kind of like let go of his emotions without like doing that. But I don't know. I feel like he is still like would be putting on a mask too much. Like, yeah,
and I think the way that she makes him not look at her also does this, because I think he's like putting on as brave a face as he can specifically for Amelia, and I think even on a subconscious level, I think if he was looking at her, he would not be able to be like this in this moment, because like he does break down crying, like he's still putting on his act, but she's like, you don't have to put on that tough guy act now. And she says, you really won't tell me what's going on, huh? Well, I guess this is all that I can do for you right now. And she says, this is all I can do for you right now. And he puts on a bit of a smile, but breaks down crying pretty quickly. She leans over and says, it's been rough, hasn't it? And we get like this image of him like naked in front of a flashback of all the times he's died so far and all the suffering he's experienced in all of his loops.
Yeah.
And he's just like full on weeping, and he's talking about how he's, never tried so hard at anything in his life, and it's because he loved this place, because it was so important to him, and he was desperate to get it back, which Higurashi moment, desperate to get it back to me. We had another Higurashi moment at the end of last chapter too. At the end, last episode.
We got Higurashi on the mind, I think we could say.
Yeah, Higurashi brain.
It's a good visual novel.
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of like, because I also didn't realize, like, I know this is kind of fucking stupid, but I was like, I mean, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It doesn't have to end with them together. They could just be close friends, I guess. I'm normal.
Why can't people fucking Megamind GIF? Why must people be gays or lesbians? Why can't they not just be friends?
Why must people be hetero?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why must people be hetero? What if she's a fucking lesbian, okay?
Yeah. I will say, Morg, Sarah is really the only Misuba diehard on this show. So,
as far as Morg, maybe Morg's gonna get really into it.
I mean, maybe that's actually like I do like shipping people, but I'm like,
the thing is, I would love to slap Amelia with another woman in this show, but there's none that I can really think of that I would like really like, because like because there are other women that show up besides the ones who are currently introduced, but like just going off the ones that are currently introduced, like there's like not Beatrice, obviously, because of so many reasons. Like, they hate each other, obviously, but also, like, there's a lot of weird age thing. Yeah. The power dynamics with Amelia and the twins, which is... There's a weird moment in one of the OVAs about it, which I declare non-canon on account of I think that moment fucking sucks.
Oh.
But...
Oh, no.
It's probably not as bad as I'm making it out to be, but it does. I do just dislike the moment. Like, I think the OVA is the OVA that I'm talking about overall, which is the one we're going to be watching. We're coming up on that OVA pretty soon. We'll be watching it after the next episode. But yeah, I digress. There's just I just do not find there are a lot of men that I ship Subaru with. Not a lot of women I can find to ship Amelia with in this one.
Fair enough.
But I don't have as big a shipping. I don't have a very huge shipping brain. I have a small shipping brain. There's a couple of cute couples in this show to me.
Yeah. Whereas I have in the past had a very big shipping brain, so I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up liking you. But I'm also like, why can't friends just like what?
Right. It's even not as a shipping moment. It is a really, really great.
It's a good intimate like friend like moment. Like not
and I think it also just go on.
I don't know how to explain myself.
It displays, like, I feel like we have not gotten a lot about Amelia under the surface level about her, and I think this just displays, like, a lot of emotional intelligence on her behalf, and, like, a very caring nature. I mean, I think we get a lot of that in this episode. I think the way that she talks to Subaru with after giving the Senzu bean, like, this whole scene, the way she talks to him, like, later on, too. I feel like Amelia is more of a character in this episode than she has been previously. Like, she is a character, but like I think we're getting to start to see some of the depth that she has in this episode.
No, I think I agree, and I think that's why I like was having a hard I would have a hard time like shipping them this early because we don't see enough of Amelia,
totally,
if that makes sense, because it's like
absolutely it would be weird if you were on the Emi Suba train this early. I think in order to be on the Emi Suba train this early, you have to be someone who like thinks Subaru is right always.
Oh, well, that sounds like a very good person, and they probably have really good views on women, and they're probably really good to be in a relationship with.
Yeah. So Rem comes into the room. And says, "I guess Subaru won't work anymore today. I could punish him, but when I see him like this, I almost don't want to." And Amelia says that Subaru is a good boy, which is
she says it in the dub. Yeah. It's just like it's goofy, but it's also like, yeah, he is.
He is.
Because at first they're like, oh, he's been a bad boy, but it's like, no, he's a good boy. It's okay. And I'm like, is he a dog? Kind of. He has a little bit of doggish tendencies.
Yeah. The puppy boy Subaru. He is a dog. Like, he's basically a dog.
Yeah, that's why he's I don't know. I was gonna try and like tie that into the last.
Yeah, I've done that before. Like I get to the end of the runway and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm still on the ground. I just crash into the fence at the end of the tarmac.
Yeah. Someone draw Subaru's persona as a dog.
Yeah.
Subaru, we cut to Subaru like berating himself about that scene to Beatrice, and this is the first time he calls her Beko to her face, and he's just like, oh my god, I cannot believe I'm so fucking cringe. I'm not based. I cried in front of this girl that I love. I'm in so many cringe compilations.
I got ratioed.
My notes did make note that when he was like in her lap, she's like, if you're this nice to me, I will fall in love with you. And I'm like, you kind of already have fallen in love with her, you freak.
That was a bit of a tongue. I think that was a tongue in cheek. That was a very tongue in cheek thing for him to. But yeah.
And like I think I can buy that as like the facade falling a little bit, and him like, like sort of an admission that like his normal state is like a little bit performative.
Yeah, I think he's kind of that's kind of what I was thinking too.
To relate this to Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai again, I think this really comes through in the protagonist of that, and it's been too long since I've seen it, so I cannot remember the protagonist's name off the top of my head, but he feels very, like, the protagonist of that is, like, not like, okay, so, like, ribald, I think is the word that I want to use, like, he will make, like, suggestive not like a Mineta level of sexual horny. But like he will make like ribald sexy comments like that, and it becomes very clear as the show goes on that he is also very much putting on a performance for the sake of reasons. But I digress. Rascal Does Not Dream is a good show. I think it's
I would love
great
to watch
show,
it sober
great
someday.
Great show, impossible to market name.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
mean,
our
like
show.
impossible to market to like I think the people who would most appreciate it.
Yeah.
Did you like my joke?
But what was
I
your
didn't
joke?
hear
I'm
your
sorry,
joke,
Morg.
sorry.
I didn't hear
I
it.
said just like our show.
Yeah.
I think it's very marketable. You know,
It does show up on iTunes. I
who
was
here
wrong
does
before.
not
I
get
just
emails?
every day I get emails.
They'll be like, perfect. I love emails.
Yeah.
They'll click on our show and they'll be like, oh, I've never heard of anime before.
Never in my life.
But you know, I love emails so much that I will become a dedicated listener to this pod.
Reply all listener who's just an email fan. Just a big email head.
Yeah.
They're called e-heads on the forums. We've been podcasting for an hour.
Okay, let's fucking pick it up. It's because you were talking about sports. Just kidding.
Yeah. It's my fault.
I just wanted to blame you. But so okay. Yeah, this is the first time he's like calling her Biko, and she's like, Don't.
Yeah.
We're not friends. Fuck you."
He calls her Bayako in the dub too, which is interesting because
Interesting.
given that he's still calling Amelia Mealy, like
Yeah.
I would have thought that would have come up with
Betty.
like, something
I'm
that,
very surprised that he does not call her Betty. Because like, doesn't Puck call her Betty?
well, like they already call her Betty in the sub though, is the thing, and I believe like before in the show. And
like,
the
Betty's,
implication is
like-
that like Bayako is like a new nickname,
I guess.
but like it's not one that really like
it's like a
scans.
Japanese nickname though, like in a way,
Yeah.
because like that's why it ends in ko.
Like they don't
Yeah,
translate him
Bayako.
calling Roswell Roschi.
Yeah.
So he asks if Beatrice can like detect curses before they're activated, and she like
Oh, sorry. So there was one thing that I wanted to mention before we get into that. Sorry
Sure.
to interrupt you. He calls her Beko, and she's like, "Why did you? What is that?" And he says the same thing that he did to Amelia when she asked about Amelia-tan. Which, setting aside the infantilizing stuff about it, I think the fact that his logic for this was the same as it was back then is like it's just very cute. Like he's just saying, this is how it's this is how I show my affection to my friends. I give you a nickname.
Yeah.
And it's just a friendly thing of his.
I wonder if he like gave people nicknames a lot, like before, like
Yeah.
being isekai. Like I wonder how like
Yeah.
often he would do that before.
That's a good question.
Kinda, like is this just a normal thing for Subaru to do? And it's not just because
He's like the-
"Oh, I love
he's-
you, Amelia."
He's the one
Gotta
party
call you
member in
Amelia.
every RPG who like their personality trait is giving everyone a nickname. Yeah, exactly.
Looking cool, Joker.
Honestly, that's I have played that character though in tabletop
Did you play the
games.
Joker?
I've been the nicknamer. Yeah, I was the Joker.
Looking cool, Joker is what I
And
say every
so-
time I see
so
the
yeah.
Joker.
It's what I do every
Me
time
when
I
I see
look in the
Joaquin.
mirror.
Yeah, I got thrown out of the theater very soon.
Me when I see Joaquin Phoenix walking down the street. When I see him walking down the street.
Yeah, I thought that it was a joke you made.
Yeah. Beko tells him that she can detect curses early, but in order to do a curse, you must touch someone. And Subaru is like, well,
Guess
the only
I'll
people
do
who
it.
I've been touched, the only people who touched me here are like people who are in the mansion, and you would know if any of them were like doing evil things. So it can't be any of them. So the only other times that I got touched was when I went to the village, which makes sense because Rem went to the village in the last loop, and she's the one that died. Oh, okay. Someone in the village is the shaman. Damn.
I like that he's saying this all out loud to Beatrice and doesn't like experience any of the issues with the witch because like Beatrice is just not listening to him. Like she does not care what he's talking about at all. She's like, okay, whatever, fuck you.
Yeah.
But she does like is this when? No, it's after he gets touched and stuff that he asks for her like help removing the curse, right? So
yeah, that's a bit later, but he picks Beatrice up and spins her around and says, "Oh, you figured it out! Thank you, Mako. I love you!" And she fucking blasts him into the floor. We cut to him in the kitchen, and he does his pose, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Natsuki Subaru, and I'm a new man." And the twins are like, "It was the lap pillow, huh?" And
it's just a very fun goof.
It's just a funny. It made me laugh. I liked it.
It was fun. And he's like, "Fuck, you know about that shit?" Oh no.
Yeah, and Amelia shows up, and he does say thanks to her, which that's nice.
Yeah, he starts to say sorry, but then he stops himself in the middle of it and thanks her instead.
Yeah, it's just a nice moment. It's well put together.
Subaru says, "Before we start on the chores today, I have a favor." And the twins are like, "Oh, it's the lap pillow, huh?"
No, he wants to go to the
great.
village early.
Yeah.
Let me put my pants on.
And the twins are going to go with him to the village. And then we get the end card, which is the title of the episode. I cried my lungs out, and stopped crying.
They're going to the village sooner than in like previous timelines. It's like a day sooner. And
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, they even say it because they were like, "Oh, I was going to go tomorrow to get spices anyway." And he's like, "Can we go early? Because I want to see the village." And when it comes back from the card, Subaru is just like showing the whole fucking village how to do calisthenics.
His radio calisthenics. It's Subaru's radio calisthenics.
He's doing like a workout in the park.
Yeah, it's very funny. I'm like, damn, this dude's popular as hell. What the fuck?
Yeah, his radio calisthenics are just so the way he is with the children specifically. I know I've covered this at length, but I will say this until I die. The way that Subaru is genuinely great with kids is one of my favorite things in this entire show. It's so cute.
It's a really good character trait.
It really shows up later too. It really shows up later too when he's like remembering all the kids, but
yeah, we'll get to that when we get there. But like even just here, it's like he's like having fun with all the kids, teaching them like their little exercises, and he makes sure that he gets touched by all of the village heads, I guess. Which is like some buff guy, some old guy, and an old woman who like comes up and like pats his butt and is like,
yeah, I was like, is he being touched by everyone or just the people we've seen? Like, I don't know. But just like people.
Well, he says later.
What does he say later?
Well, he does say that he got touched by everyone in the village later.
Well, I think he says, well, no, because he says that like he says, okay, I got touched on the butt by the old lady. I high-fived the old person. I high-fived the young guy.
Before that, I think he says like I got touched by everyone I meant to, or something, right?
Yeah, I think he was just going for like those three people. I guess I'm not entirely sure, but this literally doesn't matter because it's none of them.
Nope.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler for 10 minutes from now. He calls he's taught all the villagers to call Remrin and Ramrin. Which is cute.
Yeah, or Ram and Rem if you're watching the English dub.
I thought it was like Ramchi and Rim. Whatever. But yeah, so they all have like
one of those nicknames. Sorry,
fun little nicknames.
A cute little. Sorry, my notes say a cute little girl with purple says, "Hey, over there," and points at the forest. Yeah. And he pets the puppy, and he gets bitten. He said, "You're bald, and you bit me. Owie." Yeah,
he has a little bald spot, which is very sus.
Yeah, he's a friar.
Yeah, he's got a yarmulke.
He's got a tonsure.
Yes.
He's wearing a communion wafer on his head.
I like that for every timeline he like is trying to pet the dog though. He's like, I gotta try to pet the dog.
He's like, I gotta report back to my favorite Twitter account.
Sorry. I'm sorry. So he gets bitten, and then they head back to the manor where Roswaal is leaving, and he's wearing a bigger and gayer outfit than usual with a bigger hat.
Yeah.
He's going to see someone.
He busted out the big hat for a special occasion.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the dress code for Roswaal Manor is little tiny hat. So when you're going to somewhere else's manor, they got a different hat code.
Yeah. We're gonna see all about this.
The hat code in my house is only snapbacks that say Yuri on them.
In my house, it's just gonna all be pork pie hats, and we make a lot of Breaking Bad jokes.
A lot of Breaking Bad jokes. John McCrae lives there probably.
All your hats have to have animal ears on them in my house.
I don't know if John McCrae, the lead singer of Cake, wears a pork pie hat, but he seems the type to do so.
What the fuck? That's such a bold assumption.
I love a girl with a short skirt and a pork pie hat.
That's the lyrics. I want a girl with a straw fedora.
But he's like,
who uses her big hat to cut through red tape.
Roswell's like, yeah, I have to go somewhere, and they have a more formal dress code, and Subaru's kind of like, in his head is like, me going to the village has changed this. He doesn't stick around in the manor for some reason. Interesting. We also see that he can fly.
Yeah, because Roswell leans over and is like, I'm counting on you. Take good care of him. He goes, I'm counting on you. Take good care of Amelia. And then he just flies straight up into the sky and like blasts off like Team Rocket.
It's good.
I somehow completely forgot about the one time Roswell flies.
I did also forget that he could. Yeah.
I like shit myself. I was like, wait, he just can fly.
I mean, it does catch Subaru off guard, which, fair.
We are all Subaru in this one moment, even if you don't like him.
Yeah, we are all saying he can fly.
He can fly now?
Did he fly now?
But yeah, Ram and Subaru are gonna
they're house sitting for him.
They say they're house sitting for now, and keeping Amelia Town safe. But
yeah,
Subaru also is like, gotta go to Beatrice, see where I've been cursed at, and
gotta go for my checkup.
At first, Beatrice first of all, she's like, I don't want to fucking help you. And he's like, please, Puck will be sad. And if Puck's sad, Amelia will be... Or vice versa. If Amelia's
sad... We get the insert of, the image of, Puck crying, which is funny.
Yes. Just an image bubble of Puck crying. And at first, Betty's like, I don't think he'll care that much. But then...
Yeah, he wouldn't care.
But, you can absolutely see her being like, oh, that's not good, is it?
Yeah, but then she he's like, well, Amelia will be sad, and then Puck will be sad because Amelia's sad.
Because he's an empath.
Because he's a fucking empath.
He can't watch Seinfeld.
Me an empath. My friends would be sad if I died. She's going to destroy the spell, and Beatrice is going to destroy the curse, and Subaru kept perfect notes of where he was touched by all the villagers, and the curse is not coming from any of the places he expected, which would have been his shoulder, his hand, or his booty ass where he got touched, but instead his ball sack.
Yeah, it's coming from his ball sack. It's really graphic. I'm very surprised that this...
Yeah, really just hot. We just got a real HD shot of Subaru's testicles. It was not pleasant.
Yeah.
No.
This
wasn't in the normal cut, so I'm sorry to have shown you this in the director's morgue.
You know what? It was Tape's artistic vision.
It's a little fucked up. I thought there weren't that many big changes, but this seems like a pretty big change.
Yeah.
No, it's coming from his hand where he was bit by the dog.
Yep.
And he's like, fuck, the dog is a fucking monster.
Yeah. And Beatrice extinguishes the curse with just a wave of her hand, and Subaru's like, oh fuck, we gotta get back to the village. This is not good. The people of the village are in danger. And Subaru says, okay, he just points to the twin and says, okay, when do you gotta come with me? When do you stay here, protect Amelia? And Amelia comes down the stairs and is like, you look like you're about to do something dangerous, but I can't stop you, can I? And nope. no use telling you not to be rash and reckless. I can fucking do anything about it, idiot.
Nope. He pretty much says nope both times. And then she puts
her hand on his chest and says a little prayer for him. She forever he'll stay in her heart.
I don't know what the actual thing was.
What, yeah, she just hold
Yeah,
on.
she just says something like nice to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's like a blessing. Like, it's not really a blessing, but it's like, I imagine
She says, "May the blessing of the spirits be with you."
yeah, it's like a prayer or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. She says a little prayer for him.
it's nice.
Subaru and Rem set off. Ram is the one staying behind, and Subaru and Rem set off for the village. And all of the village children have gone missing, it turns out.
Very
That's probably
sus.
Subaru notices that there is a crystal not alight in the forest and runs off towards it. Discuss that we find out that the barrier of crystals is broken, which means that mob beasts can cross the boundary, which are creations of the witch and the enemy of humans that can do magic, and they quote unquote live gregariously in the forest.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're
Beast.
pregnant?
Yeah. Which one of you did I DM that stupid joke to last night that was like...
Not me, I don't think.
Oh, I think it was me.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull that stupid fucking idiot joke. I DM'd it to Neve because I didn't want to spoil you on anything from the episode more.
But
I just sent the text to the image of the text to Neve that was... Where did I send this? I posted this in the chat. I posted this in the host chat in the server. Sorry.
what?
Just
all good.
Just they live gregariously in the forest, and just Harry, I am begging you to have them say in the newspaper that Voldemort did not live gregariously in my wife.
Harry, Voldemort did not breach my wife's barrier.
I did not, that's right, you did fucking post it, and I saw it, and I did not understand what the screenshot was.
Harry, I swear on the cross, on the Christian cross that we wizards abide by. I swear on the Christian cross that my wife's gate was not opened and lubricated by Voldemort in order to let her cast her magic spell of Have Scorpius easier.
Sarah, no one's gonna fucking understand that unless they also listen to Shrieking Shack and or in the HKIP Discord, which I guess a lot of our listeners do that.
I get your concern there, Morg, but like, who's going to be listening to this show who doesn't already?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know why I was concerned at all, but like...
Sorry,
if you haven't listened to the Shrieking Shack yet, that's your fucking problem. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've just been really enamored by the riffing that's been going on in the Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die Discord server where we're talking
because
about
Voldemort didn't fuck his wife.
Yeah, Voldemort did not fuck his wife.
It's so funny how much
we
people are
cannot
talking
get into
about
this.
how Draco was not cucked by Voldemort.
Harry,
Please
swear to me.
Voldemort did not count out my wife's touchdown Tom.
Harry, swear to me that you will print in the Daily Prophet that my wife did not get buko blasted by Voldemort.
I thought you were gonna say finger blasted.
I mean, finger blasting wouldn't have impregnated her.
You never know with that freak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casting expecto purgantum.
Well, now that we've talked about Harry Potter like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, God, this is the fucking God, Harry Potter.
We had a good 45-minute segment where we were on topic, and then we lost it again.
Oh God, I hate I kind of like. I love the Shrieking Shack. It's one of my favorite podcasts. I low key hate the fact that I know what happens in Harry Potter now because like, I read 3.5 books as a 23-year-old. Like I had gone blissfully on I knew the broad strokes obviously. Like I know Harry wins. There's an epilogue everyone hates. Like Snape kills
fucks
Dumbledore.
Draco's wife.
Yeah, I knew Voldemort just fucking cream pies Draco's wife.
Ew.
He did. That's how you make babies, Morg.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to live with this information.
Gross.
Like, I knew Voldemort dropped a fat load and...
Okay! Alright!
Voldemort did not drop a load into my
now I
wife's
know
washer.
now I know the details. Like now I know things, like I know what Sectum Sempra is because I've listened to the Shrieking Shack so much. Like I know these things now, and I love the Shrieking Shack. I low key hate that I know about Harry Potter now. I hate that I'm part of this now.
I'm in pain because I'm like, I already did. I already knew this shit.
Right. I know you and Neve both did. Like I'm definitely an anomaly here. Like I did not, like not an anomaly.
Sorry.
I definitely was a minority of someone who like, and I did wear it as like a badge
You're the
of
most
pride.
oppressed minority in America.
Right.
Fucking not Harry
People
Potter.
who didn't read Harry Potter.
Unironically.
I'm sorry, but L plus ratio plus you should have read Animorphs instead.
God, so true.
I could never find the first Animorphs book.
Yeah,
I
that
told
was
you this.
that was always a hassle for me. I was lucky that that my best friend at the time had that book to lend me.
It's like, here's number 45, here's number 87, here's number 4. It's like, great, this doesn't fucking help me.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know what any of these characters are?
I don't know. You should have just fucking read the AZ mysteries or whatever that book was. Those
I did read those.
Yeah, those were fucking good.
Yeah.
You should have read Marvin Redpost.
That's why I'm
Should have read Marvin Redpost. Is he a girl?
God, can we talk about that, Nave, real quick? Just
Sure.
briefly, because I think it's just very. I'm sorry that we continue to veer off topic, but this is just very funny to me. Last time Neve was here, there was a night where we were just like laying in bed, like it was like 2 a.m. We were stoned. We just watched a movie. We were watching Games Done Quick as we kind of like faded to sleep, and we started talking about like stuff from our childhood that was like just stuff that like pointed towards us, like stuff that we like look back on and like, oh yeah, damn, I was really gender at that age.
Yeah.
And Neve asked me if I remembered the series Marvin Redpost, and I was like, I mean, it sounds familiar, but I don't think I know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then Neve, would you mind relaying again the fact that I did remember about it, the one thing that I did remember?
Yeah, there's a book where there's a rumor going around school where if you lick your elbow, you turn into a girl, and vice versa.
And I like shot up bolt upright in bed, and I was like, "Oh my god, I remember this." There was like a 3-month period of time where I did not read Marvin Redpost. I just read the synopsis of that book in the Scholastic printout, and I was like, "Damn, what if I could lick my elbow though? Like, shit, is that real?"
That's the most gender thing I've heard of in my entire life. Sarah!
Yeah.
Okay, this is something I didn't even tell Neve at that time because I didn't remember it until now. There were a lot of moments where I would like surreptitiously in the middle of like class or doing something else, I would lick my hand and then like press my elbow, just being like, oh, I wonder if I could cheat it like this. like it was a real thing I could do.
Gaming the system.
Damn.
Gender, am I right?
Becoming a transmedicalist, but only for people who can't actually lick their elbows.
Yeah, they made me lick my elbow before I got my estradiol.
Yeah, it's like it's fucked up how many psychiatrists will make you lick your elbow before they prescribe you anything.
I'm just. I was like, does it work in the other way?
I believe it does.
Sick. Can I do it back and forth?
Yeah, that's what happens in Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl. Like, it's just cut out of the story because it sort of distracts from the everything else about that book.
The everything else Andrea Lawlor is going in on.
Yeah.
Okay.
They kind of snapped.
So
let's go in on these fucking
village.
mobbies, am I right? So
yeah,
The mobbies.
They live gregariously in the forest, and there's like a bunch of kid footprints going into the forest. And Rem is like, "Are you sure this isn't a clever ruse, a distraction from the mansion?" And Subaru's like, "We gotta save these fucking. I don't care about that. Like, I care about that, but like, we gotta save these fucking kids. If we don't do it, literally no one else will." And there's this. Rem is like, "Why do these villagers matter so? Why do these kids matter so much to you?" And he tells
Subaru has like all these like. He knows like so much about these kids, whether it's because he like knows.
Again, it's the Groundhog Day scene of like of Bill Murray going through the diner and being like, and this guy is this blah 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 blah. Like he just tells these people all these things, but like it's just such a fucking adorable. Again, jumping back to what we talked about earlier with of fucking Subaru being like just
good with kids,
Like he knows about, like he talks about, like, you know, Mildo wants to, you know, make flower crowns. Mayna is gonna have a baby sister. Lucas wants to be the village woodcutter when he grows up. Like it's just
Petra wants to make clothes.
Yeah.
It's so goddamn cute. it's just adorable, and I teared up about it a little bit. Like
He's
just cares
nice.
kids so much.
I was like, oh, like that was kind of, it's like that was kind of always like a redeeming quality, even when I was like, ugh. But it's fine. I'm becoming Subaru pilled. What the?
Now you know.
Oh, so he like thinks all the dogs are gonna be like the little puppy, and well, they're not. But before we get there, he and Rem like decide to go in because like Rem, does go with him and like pulls out her little fucking morning star thing. And Subaru's a little taken aback to see
She
it.
got that MF thing on her.
Yeah, because it's like every time the Morning Star has come out, we've heard like the same like clanking .mp3 of the chains clanking, and like we heard it at the end of when Subaru got like fucking diced to ribbons at the end of the second loop. And we heard it at the end of the third loop where he, again gets diced to ribbons by the twins, or by Rem specifically. And we hear it again, and I just think it's just a really cool little thing, like this conditioning. Yeah. Like even me as a watcher, like I heard that and there was like a spike of anxiety up my spine about it. Like to compare this to another thing, like have either of you seen Paprika?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So how like 3 times in that movie we see that scene of Inspector Konokawa running down the hall, and 2 times like the hall bunches up like a film reel and he falls into the white space, and then the third time he just runs down the hall normally.
Yeah.
Like
you're conditioned to think that like it's gonna happen again. Yeah.
Exactly. They do the exact same thing with like the woman whose name is escaping me, like vaulting over the fence at the amusement park. Like they do that like just only twice. But I also get anxiety when I see that. I'm like, oh, the floor's gonna crumple up, dude. I've seen this one. Fucking Michael J. Fox. I've seen this one. You're gonna love it. He finds all the kids passed out in the field, looking like they just did a Wiccan ritual or something. Like they're just like they're in a circle in the Windows XP background at night.
They're like they all have like a bite mark on them, and like they're clearly like weakened, like Subaru was. But I think like Rem's like, I can't do this kind of magic. We'd have to get Rem here, but I can like do a healing spell at least to like help them until we can bring them to the town. But this one girl, Petra, like who Subaru recognizes, like tries to start talking to them, and she's like talking about how like there's one person missing, but she's kind of like, she's weak, so she's like not getting everything out, but like Subaru understands what she's talking about because he like remembers this like purple-haired girl with a braid, and he's like, fuck, there's one missing. I have to go farther into the forest, stay with the kids, Rem, do the healing spell till the fucking villagers come. And Rem's like, you're stupid.
Rem says, you're stupid. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200. Do not go into that forest.
Do not pass go.
You'll get lost. And Subaru's like, you won't lose me. Can you can't forget my stink, my smelly witch stink. And he does a little pinky promise with her, and it's the cutest fucking thing.
It's cute.
He's like, when this is over, we can talk to each other till our voices are hoarse. I trust you, so I'll act in a way that will make you trust me.
Yeah, because they both have questions for each other. Because like Subaru already like knows that like she can smell the witch on him, but like she also has questions for him, or he also has questions for her regarding like, just kind of all the weird stuff with the twins and everything,
right?
Yeah,
and how they're suspiciously like the Onis. Interesting. Anyway,
it is interesting. He does bust out the demonically inspired again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it's his favorite phrase lately, and
I think it's cute that he comments on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Subaru,
it too.
Amelia, Rem says, "Be careful," and Subaru like runs off into the distance, like giving a thumbs up over his shoulder. And we cut to him in the forest. He's like, "I can beat the shit out of a whittle puppy wuppy, can't I? Can't I beat a little guy?"
Just a
Physically, yes, but can you imagine the emotional toll?
Yeah, at what cost?
I would not be able to beat the shit out of a whittle puppy wuppy. Like if Cujo from the book Cujo comes at me, I'm done. Like Cujo is not a whittle puppy wuppy. I would still probably just be like, I can't.
I would have a hard time with these like mobbies, even the big boys. I would be like, oh, you're still a doggy. Like you kind of look like
Rem
a
does not
cop
have this
dog,
issue.
but like I still like you. I don't know.
Yeah, Rem does not have this issue, we find. But so as Subaru is wandering through the
She
forest,
goes Joe Biden up.
so Subaru is wandering through the forest, and he sees he like through like a clearing, he can see the legs of the girl who is missing, and he's like, "Is this a trap?"
Do we know her name?
I think it's mentioned like once at this point, but I cannot remember it off the top of my head.
Breed girl. I don't know.
It doesn't really matter because she stops mattering very briefly because Subaru is like, is this a trap? Well, Amelia wouldn't hesitate, and so I'm just gonna get in there, and as soon as he runs up to her and he's like, okay, she's still alive, she's still breathing. A bunch of fucking jacked ass demon dogs walk out of the forest.
Well, just
like
one
these
first.
Well, just one,
Yeah.
yeah. And he does the matador maneuver again, but the dog just fades into the darkness. The dog like fades into the darkness, then lunges at him, and he manages
He uses Phantom Force.
Yeah, he uses Phantom Force, but he manages to use counter by using the momentum of the dog to like swing it in his jacket and like bash it, impale it on a branch sticking off of a log behind him.
Yeah,
and it's just again like. There would be so many ways for Subaru to do the things that he does in this and it would feel like a shitty power fantasy being indulged. But like aside from the one exception that I have to this, I think, is when he like kicks the table in the path of the knife that was gonna like go directly into Felt's back in the Loot House arc. But I digress. Like every time Subaru manages to pull something off, I'm like, yeah, I mean, like that. Yeah, I could believe that would happen. Like, there's no ass pull on this, really.
In the shot, like immediately, like after that, like there's a lot of focus on him, like panting and like sounding like scared.
Yeah,
yeah, he like is clearly like worn by
he's like
flipping this dog over onto because the dog bites him and then he like flips it onto like a branch sticking out.
So yeah, it's our per episode, like, shout out to Sean Chiplock, because like he sounds like he's freaking out.
Oh yeah,
like he just from the way he's breathing.
Oh, like yeah, in the dub, yeah, the sub person obviously does a good job too, but like so he like hears a noise and like turns around and starts seeing like because the mob like before it came out of the shadows, it had like these red glowing eyes, and then he sees like a ton of red glowing eyes, and he's like fucking surrounded by these things, these big ass dogs that are like kind of reptilian in some ways, because they're like weird magic witchified animals, and he's like about to get like pounced on by like a bunch of them, and he kind of like stands up, like doesn't he put the girl down and kind of like stands up and is like, come at me.
He like stances up, like, right, like he says, I'll fucking, like, if you want to fight, bring it on. The dogs all jump at him, but a dog jumps at him, it gets fucking sliced stem to stern. It gets Joe Biden.
It gets Joe Biden by Rem.
Rem got, it's Rem. She got the kids back to the village, and she is just murdering these fucking dogs. Like, she puts a hole in one of them. Like, a gargantuan morning star-shaped hole in one of the dogs.
And it just, like...
like, JoJo-ass dog homicide.
It just, like, dissipates, because I guess they're magic, but, like, I was like, what the fuck did she just do to this dog at first? Because I was like, well, I guess this is better than anything that would be, like, gory. I don't necessarily want to see that, but like, Jesus Christ.
To be clear, the dogs are like magic beasts, but it does get gory.
It gets gory, like, yeah. I was like, don't love this, but like, also,
They're monsters. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like when you come across a wolf in like an RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's not really a dog. You don't have to feel bad about it. You can compartmentalize these feelings.
And yet, playing Skyrim,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah. Well,
They like realize there's too many, and so they're like trying to run away.
Yeah, the odds do not look good. Rem makes like a big dust explosion, and they manage to get out of. They manage to like run towards the barrier.
Subaru does pick up the girl again. I don't think I said that. But...
To be clear.
yeah. Oh, there is a point where like Subaru says you're strong, and like Rem's like that's not a nice thing to say to a girl. It's like bitch, take the compliment. Like, come on.
I was like, isn't that
what's wrong?
Wait, why does that matter? I was confused by that. I was like.
It doesn't matter. It's just funny that like she's like, I don't like being called strong. It's like, why not?
Like, why not?
You wuss.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. They like eventually.
They have to. All they got to do is get to the barrier, and they're almost there. But Rem is not looking too hot. She's like panting and covered in blood, and like all of a sudden, the evil little puppy wuppy, the thing that's got like the friar, the
tonsure,
friar dog moment, walks out like it's glowing yellow, and it's just like very clearly masterminding all of these mobbies, and it's like it just like looks at them smugly, and it causes a huge landslide, and Rem
uses rock slide.
Yeah,
it
uses
makes
rock
Rem
slide.
flinch.
It's the little rat in Hades that controls all the big rats.
Yes. Rem Subaru's about to get crushed by this, and Rem shoves him out of the way with the little girl in his arms, and he gets fucking pulverized. But like, she does not get like buried in it like one might in Avalanche. Like she gets knocked straight up in the air,
knocked into the sky.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, this bitch is dead.
Yeah,
because like I was like, oh, maybe like Subaru dies again, because I was like, she's dead. She's not dead.
Yeah.
She's very much not dead somehow.
No, but all the dogs start bearing down on Subaru. But all of a sudden, my favorite song on the soundtrack, "The Rondo of Love and Darkness," starts playing, and Rem grows a horn from the middle of her head.
Yeah,
and
she gets horny.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Not only is she Joe Biden, she's Joe Budden. She's about to create a whole bunch of new holes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's Scolipede. She's using Mega Horn.
That's a better image than
she's
thinking about Joe.
Like she. +4 off the swords dance, +3 off the speed boost. Like she's about to sweep these dogs, and she starts laughing, and she starts laughing and fucking kills every goddamn dog there. But at the last second, she's about to get tackled. She's about to get killed, and all of a sudden, just like mirroring exactly what happened like a minute ago, Subaru shoves her out of the way and gets tackled to the ground by a bunch of dogs that were about to kill Rem.
That are biting him now.
Yeah, eating him. And Amelia, God. Rem manages to kill the dogs, like just blast them away from Subaru, but like his eyes are like closing and she's like, don't die! And then we cut to our end card for the meeting of courage.
Is it slowed down? Is it normally this? The music, is it normally this slowed
down?
No,
the ED is it's a very down tempo version of the ED.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
What a cliffhanger!
And that's the episode.
That's the episode.
I'd
forgotten about some of the cliffhangers in this fucking show.
I'm such a fucking weenie when it comes to that kind of shit, so I actually like watched the first 5 minutes of the next episode. I won't say anything now, but it like,
damn, I was really hoping to be able to leave you in the lurch for a little while on this one.
I know, I'm a bad person. I was like, I can't. I know.
No, I totally fucking if I was in your shoes, I would not have been able to resist. I would have been like, I can justify a 5-minute peek.
My whole thing when it comes to cliffhangers and stories is that like I immediately go online and like see what happens next.
Yeah.
The thing is that like
I try not to do that for this show because we're watching it for a podcast, but that is something I do too. Neve.
Have y'all watched Squid Game?
No,
I have not.
Okay, never mind. I was going to talk about how I
You're gonna say Squid Games.
I was gonna say Squid Games. I left on a cliffhanger and I have not gone back to the show since for no real reason. I'm just very bad at like I know it
I'm
makes
also
no
bad at
fucking
finishing
sense.
things. Don't worry about it. But I get it.
Yeah. But those are our episodes for this week.
I'm
Wow, episodes.
tired.
Wow, episodes.
Show's picking up.
Show's picking up. Next week's going to be the end of this arc.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, and then the entire second half of the season is a single arc. So
Oh.
the first, so the way that the arcs are broken up is that there's the first two arcs, which are the Loot House arc and the Roswell Manor arc. Then we've got the next arc, and then season 2 is entirely one single arc, and then so there's only been I think there's like 8, or I think the light novel's currently in 7th or 8th arc. So there's a lot of content out there for this show.
Sure is.
Damn.
We got a lot of retweets on this post, and I'm very confused about that. We didn't get any questions, but a lot of we got 13 retweets on the questions post.
Why? Did everyone just want to show off Bad Luck Baru?
The Bad Luck Baru?
That's very strange.
Although I am saying I'm not really seeing many people we know in these retweets.
No, nobody that I know. Nobody that I think I have any mutuals with anywhere.
Devin.
Devin. Yeah, aside from Devin, yeah.
Interesting.
All right, we got one question.
We got one question from the Rocket Knight. That's Sparkster2600. Okay, tell me about the episode.
Just did that.
That's what you're listening to, I hope.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep. You're in for a treat. We spent an entire episode answering your question.
No one asked us about dog attacks, getting cursed, and emotional breakdowns. But we will talk about how we have emotional breakdowns in school.
Listen, bitches be having emotional breakdowns.
To be like that.
So yeah, no questions. We don't have a thing we do at the end of the show. I'm weird. It's weird that we're just finishing the episode and that's just transitioning into the closing stuff, housekeeping and everything.
I mean, normally we would have questions now, but since we don't,
Right, I'm just used to fear baiting. It has questions, then it's got recommendations, then it's got a whole laundry list of plugs. But here it's just we're at /ReZero on Twitter, FWD/REZERO. You can join our Discord where we are posting. We're on iTunes and all that stuff. If you want to leave us a rating, that would be nice. We would like that. We're on all your podcatchers. We're so graciously hosted by the Noisepace.xyz network and our podfather Matt GameCube. So many other great
signs off everything that we said in this episode.
Signs off everything that we said, all the anti-Italian racism we had.
He condones all our political opinions.
Yes. It was fucked up that we elected Joe Biden after he said that shit about making a new hole.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wait. There was a question in the
was there?
questions chat from PR the Disaster?
Ooh, hang on.
Yes, okay. Yeah. From PR also. Based on the title of the episode, here's a question to keep percolating until you get to a point in the story where it's answerable. Is there a ReZero character you'd cast Jennifer Coolidge as? To which Philip replied, ReZero Kara Hajime Amerikaji no teenager no Himitsu Seikatsu, which made me laugh. It's just, ReZero starting life as a teenager. Something like ReZero starting life as a secret teenager.
God, a secret teenager is a lot different than the secret life of American teenager. I'm secretly a teen. Lol.
Hang on.
Yeah. Googling Jennifer Coolidge.
I am.
She's Betty.
there is a character that I'm getting the impression that she would be good at, but I think it's a spoiler of sorts. So
yeah, that's fine. I meant she's Betty in Secret Life, not Betty in.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're the same person.
After we uploaded that episode 3, I was like, fuck, this sounds really... Didn't Jorgenet have an episode titled So Long Gay Betty? Because there was a Betty on... There thankfully wasn't. I was wrong. There's So Long Gay Baby, which is different. That's different.
Gay Baby.
I mean, Betty's kind of a baby.
Betty is small. Betty is not a baby.
We do get a distinct shot of her glossy forehead in this
God, we should do.
Fucking, I can see my reflection doing my makeup in Beatrice's forehead.
Did either of you see Mega Man Battle Network, the TV show?
I saw
I watched some of it. Yeah.
There's There's a character of that of a similar design. That
Yes,
this movie
May, is that her name?
I thought it was like Yai or something.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, she's in the Battle Network games too. Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. Never played those games.
She's got that shiny ass forehead. She got the twin tails, shiny forehead, but it's not like drill tails. It's like long braids. Yeah. I got distracted in the middle of plugs.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you to personal close friend of the show, Gerard Way, for the use of...
Hold up. On television, she is known... Jennifer Coolidge, Wikipedia. On television, she is known as for her roles as Roberta Bobby. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I thought...
What?
I thought it was going to be more of like a Dr. Roberta Bobby.
What are you talking about?
What is what?
Right?
What? Hold on. Finish the sentence, please.
From Jennifer Coolidge's Wikipedia page.
Yes.
On television, she is known for her roles as Roberta Bobby Morgenstern in the NBC sitcom Joey.
This is absolutely...
She's Dr. Roberta Bobby.
This is absolutely what Dr. Roberta Bobby is named after. Dr. Roberta Bobby is just a shit post account on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to derail this for so little.
just a couple of great bangers from Dr. Roberta Bobby at Dr. Sweetie 303 on Twitter from recent. My pussy's raw till 4.
True.
Foucault is pronounced like fucko, which is ultimately so Reddit that it nullifies any and all arguments laid forth by the man. OMG. And just killed everyone on TikTok. I need a lawyeress with oblique curves.
Thank you, Dr. Roberta Bobby.
Thank you, Dr. Roberta Bobby. We're saluting you for your support.
Fuck.
Anyway,
thank you to close personal friend of the show, Gerard Way, and their great band, My Chemical Romance, for letting us use their song, Dead, by My Chemical Romance. Great song, great album, from the album,
pretty good.
Welcome to the Black Parade. Or is it just called The Black Parade? I know the song is Welcome to.
The song is Welcome to the Black Parade.
Okay, so the album is The Black Parade. Okay, cool.
Parade.
I think... Oh, yeah, thank you to Ogie at Kalala Fair Art on Twitter for our incredible podcast cover art. I fucking love it so much. It's
good.
It's tremendous.
I keep meaning to, change one of my, pictures somewhere to it.
You've been the chomping neg for so long, though.
and then my Twitter's my soda, so I'm like, no.
Yeah. I'm on Twitter at Sonhatgenya, SUNHATZHENYA. You can listen to a bunch of other podcasts that I do on the Noise Space Network, such as Fear Baiting, the Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, the Wonder Year Special Grade Snacks, all of those. Great podcasts. I'm stamp of approval of on my own damn podcast. Morg.
You can find me at Haunting the Morgue on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG if you want to see that fun little persona thing. And you can find me on my other podcasts. 3/4 of my podcasts are noise space podcasts, including this one. But, so those are, Digimon Ghost Gaze, a Digimon Ghost game watching podcast, and, Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. Departure Lounge, my Hunter x Hunter podcast exists. That's all I can really say for it for now. It's pretty good what's out there. But yeah. Neve, where can we find you?
I'm at Nick Wolf on Twitter. I'm working on stuff. Don't worry about it.
If you like that.
Hell yeah. So I believe that's gonna be it for this episode of Forward ReZero. And until next time, sent from my iPhone.
Sent from my iPhone.
Sent from my iPhone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.